the adsorption is different from absorption. Adsorption is a surface phenomena where the molecules are present on the surfaces only and nothing is present in the bulk, while absorption is a bulk phenomena where the molecules are present inside the bulk and uniform layer we will be getting it in the case of absorption, while in adsorption there will be molecules will be present only on the surfaces and nothing present in the bulk. So that is a difference between adsorption and absorptions. Sometimes it is both the absorption and adsorption may occur simultaneously, and that can be called as a sorption. And this we can see it when we put a chalk in a solution containing say ink. Say a red ink is present, and in that red ink if we are placing a chalk, we cannot have a white color here, so I will show it with a little bit different color. Say this color, if this is our chalk, so that chalk will now be getting colored with red color as the ink of the material. So what we can see is that when we take out this, we can see that the cross section here it will be slightly red in color, but inside it will not be having any colors. But when we see it about the wetness of the chalk, there will be the chalk will be completely wet. So the water is getting absorbed over here, while the ink, that is pigments or dye pigments that are present, they are getting absorbed. So here both the phenomenon are happening, the adsorption as well as absorption. So we can call this phenomenon as absorption phenomenon. The differences between adsorption and absorption can be: the adsorption is a surface phenomena, while absorption is a throughout or a bulk phenomenon. The absorption is a bulk phenomenon, while adsorption is a surface phenomenon. Similarly, adsorption is rapid at the beginning, but it slows down in the later stages. While in absorption, there is no such cases, it is uniform throughout the process. Adsorption involves higher concentrations at the surface and nothing inside, while absorption it will be a uniform distribution of the substance over throughout the bulk. For adsorption, examples can be water vapor getting adsorbed on the silica gel, while in the absorption we can take it as water vapors being absorbed by the anhydrous calcium chloride, where the water vapors will be captured by each of the molecules uniformly throughout the substance. So it will be a absorption phenomenon that will be occurring. And the other one, the phenomenon other than absorption and adsorption is a desorption. What is desorption? Desorption is a reverse process to adsorption. That is, here there is a removal of the molecules which are already adsorbed on the surface of the solids or the liquids. So here what happens? The molecules which are, if this is our surface again, then on this surface, if a molecule has already been adsorbed, if these are the adsorbed molecules on the surface of the adsorbent, then if these molecules now somehow they go into the atmosphere again, then that process we call it as a desorption. This process is completely reverse to that of the adsorption process. The process of desorption can be looked at like this. Here, if you observe the red molecule, it is getting adsorbed over here, and then it is coming out of the surface also like this. So this process of coming out of the surface is called as a desorption. So we have to keep it in mind. The three things: one is adsorption, where the bulk molecule, where the adsorbate molecules are coming and sticking on the surface of the adsorbent. Then we have absorption. The absorption, what happens? The molecules are getting inside the bulk of the substance, while in the desorption, it is removal of already stuck molecules on the surface to the atmosphere. So that are the three different processes that we will be seeing it. The adsorption is a we can now say is of two types. The adsorption depending on what are the forces of attractions between the adsorbate and adsorbent. We can have two different types of adsorptions. One is a physical adsorption, the other is a chemical adsorption. The physical adsorption is also called as a physisorption because it involves physical forces of attraction. The physical forces of attractions are there, like for example, weak van der Waals forces are present on this. While in chemical adsorption, what happens? There is a chemical forces that are acting on the adsorbent and adsorbate molecules, and because of that, they are strong also. While a physical adsorption, it is a weak van der Waals forces are acting. So this is a weak forces, while in chemical adsorption, these are stronger forces are there. Physical adsorption, when the particles of the adsorbate are held on the surface of the adsorbent through physical forces such as van der Waals forces, then the adsorption is called as a physical adsorption. While when the particles of the adsorbate are held through chemical bonds, then it is called as a chemical adsorption or the chemisorption. If this is the adsorbent molecules, while these are the adsorbate molecules, then what we can see is that if there is a chemical adsorption is happening, it requires the formation of a chemical bond between the two molecules. As we know about the chemical orbital overlaps, so this can have a chemical bond. They can form chemical bonds. This can form chemical bond. This can form chemical bonds. But we cannot imagine a chemical bond between these two molecules or a chemical bond between these two molecules. So we cannot have chemical bonds in such cases, as there will not be any orbital overlaps. So what we can say is that the chemical adsorption is a single layer phenomenon, or it forms a monomolecular layer is formed in chemical adsorption, while in physical adsorption the weak van der Waals forces will be between these two layers of molecules, as well as this adsorbent and the second layer, as well as in the third layers also will be present, although they will be weaker than what it is between the first layers, but still some attractive forces will be there between second layer and adsorbent, third layer and adsorbent, and the subsequent layers. So what we can say is that the physical adsorption is a multimolecular layer formation happens, while in the chemical adsorption it is a monomolecular layer will be formed. In the physical adsorption and chemical adsorptions, the energetics we can see is that if we can imagine the adsorbate and adsorbent molecules are brought from infinite distances, then at the start they will be having something around zero energy, but when they are brought nearer, they will be having facing a attractive van der Waals interaction, and so their energy will keep on decreasing and will reach a certain minimum, and that minimum will occur when the distance between the two molecules will be equal to the sum of their van der Waals radii, and so this will be the minimum energy. Beyond that, if we increase beyond that, if we bring those two molecules together, there will be force of repulsion happening, and so the energy increases, and that energy increases to a very higher levels. So this minimum energy that we are coming across, this minimum energy we can say it as delta H of physical adsorption. Now we have seen about the physisorption. Now we will see about the chemical adsorption or chemisorption. For a chemisorption or chemical adsorption, to form a chemical bond, we know that the molecules must have acquire a particular amount of energy. Then only there will be a chemical bond formation will be there. Now let us say, let us imagine that this is the amount of energy that a molecule must acquire in order to form a chemical bond. So initially, when the two molecules, adsorbate and adsorbent molecules, when they are infinite distances, they will have this much amount of energy. Now when they are brought together, their energy will decrease. Initially it will decrease slowly, but then it will be decreasing rapidly and will form a chemical bond, and there will be a rapid decrease in energy, and then again after a certain distance it will again start increasing to infinite distances. My diagram is not so good, but we can imagine what is exactly happening over here. What we can say is that this particular part is for a chemical adsorption, and this part is for a physical adsorption. When we look for a chemical adsorption, this part becomes or looks like a highly energetic part, or it requires a lot amount of energy at the start itself. In order to save energy, what we can imagine is that uh, the first there may be a physical adsorption, and that is the molecules will be first undergoing a physical adsorption and will come or will acquire energy. There will be liberation of energy of this much order, that is delta H of physical adsorption will happen, and then the molecules, when they are still further brought together, they will be their energy will increase, and that increases to a particular amount, and then from here there is a jump over the chemical adsorption line. Rather than going into this direction, that molecule jumps over the chemical adsorption line, and then there will be a decrease in energy and reaches this minimum over here. This amount of energy that is called as delta H of chemical adsorption. This delta H of chemical adsorption is always higher than that of delta H in a physical adsorption. That we have seen it in the comparison itself, that this is about the order of 20 to 40 kilojoules, while this is of the order of 200 to 400 kilojoules per mole. So instead of undergoing a pure chemical adsorption, it may undergo initial stages as a physical adsorption, and then it can be converted into a chemical adsorption, so that there will be energy savior. So in this process, we have to give only this much amount of energy. This amount of energy will only be needed to be raised. The molecules must be raised to this amount of energy only. This we call it as activation energy. So instead of raising the energy of the molecules to this much high levels, we can do away with that by using this small amount of energy of activation, if first the physical adsorption occurs and then followed by the chemical adsorption. So the differences in physical adsorption and chemical adsorption, we can see that the physical adsorption, the forces between the adsorbate and adsorbent molecules are weak van der Waals forces, while for chemical adsorption, the forces between adsorbate and adsorbent are strong chemical forces are there. Because of the weaker chemical forces in physical adsorption, there is a low heat of adsorption, that is low amount of heat is evolved or given out, and that is of the order of 20 to 40 kilojoules per mole, while for a chemical adsorption, a very high amount of energy is liberated of the order of 200 to 400 kilojoules per mole in the form of heat of adsorption. I'll move upside so that you can have a clear picture. Now, this physical adsorption is usually favored at low temperatures, as the process is an exothermic process, so it decreases with increase in temperature. While for chemical adsorption, it usually favors high temperatures because of the requirement of activation energy. So as the activation energy is required, so it will increase with the increase in temperature. So it generally favors high temperatures, but very high temperatures should not be there, as at very high temperature what happens, there is a chance of break of bond will be there, bond may get broken, and because of that there will be chemical adsorption will decrease. So it is favored at higher temperatures but not at very high temperatures. Now, the physical adsorption is a reversible process, while chemical adsorption is an irreversible process. The physical adsorption, the extent of adsorption. What is extent of adsorption? Extent of adsorption is the amount of adsorbate that is getting adsorbed or getting stuck on the surface of an amount, say m. If we are taking adsorbent of amount m, and if x is the amount of gas or liquid getting adsorbed over the surface, then the ratio x by m, we call it as extent of adsorption. This extent of adsorption depends on ease of liquefaction of gases. Ease of liquefaction of gases means if the gases are easily liquefiable. If the gases can be easily liquefied, then they will be very easily getting stuck on the surface of the adsorbent. So physical adsorption will increase if the gas is easily liquefiable. There is such cases correlations in chemical adsorption, because in chemical adsorption we need to have formation of a chemical bond, and chemical bond doesn't form with the ease of liquefaction. So there is no correlation between extent of adsorption and ease of liquefaction. Because of this, the chemical adsorption also becomes very specific. It occurs only with a certain amount of or certain types of gases, not with or certain types of substances, not with all the substances. Hence, the chemical adsorption is a highly specific in nature, while the physical adsorption is less specific in nature. I'll come back down so that you can easily observe, see what is being present there. In the physical adsorption, it is a less specific in nature, while in chemical adsorption, it is a highly specific. Physical adsorption, it forms multimolecular layer, while chemical adsorption, as it forms chemical bonds, it is a monomolecular layer. For both physical adsorption as well as chemical adsorption, the extent of adsorption, that is X by M ratio, increases with increase in pressure. So as we increase the pressure, the extent of adsorption also increases. That is, the amount of gas or liquid that is getting adsorbed over the adsorbent will be higher if we increase the pressure, for both physical as well as chemical adsorptions. Now we will see the factors affecting adsorption. The adsorption is dependent on nature of adsorbent, that is the surface which is being provided. If that surface is having a high amount of forces of asymmetry, then there will be higher will be the adsorption. So it will depend on what is the kind of or what is the nature of adsorbent, uh, that the adsorption process will depend on it. Second, it is the nature of adsorbate. We have seen just that if there are easily liquefiable gases are there, then that can be easily getting adsorbed. So the liquefiability can be measured in terms of critical temperatures. We can see that in the critical temperature for hydrogen is very low, about 33 kelvins. 33 Kelvin, that is approximately minus 240 degrees Celsius. So it is very low and almost the lowest for any gases. So hydrogen will be very difficult to get liquefied, and because of that it will be very difficult also to get adsorbed. Uh, Compared to nitrogen, which is having a very higher mass than hydrogen, its critical temperature also increases to 126 degree kelvins. uh, Further, we can see that as the polarity of the molecules increases to HCl or NH3, the critical temperature also increases to 324 or 406 degree kelvins. So the liquefiability for HCl and NH3 will be more, and because of that, there will be higher possibility of adsorption occurring over there. So the adsorption process depends on the nature of the adsorbate also very much. And then the third factor is temperature. We have seen it for a physical adsorption. The extent of adsorption decreases with increase in temperature. So it will be a uniform decrease will be there with increase in temperature. As the temperature is increased, the amount of adsorbate getting adsorbed on adsorbent surface will be lower and lower. But for a chemical adsorption, we have seen that it is first increases with increase in temperature. It reaches a maximum value and then it starts decreasing, because at very high temperatures there is a possibility of breaking of the bond also, and so because of that it decreases at a higher temperatures. Hence there will be this bell shaped type of curve will be present for a chemical adsorption. The fourth factor is of a pressure. As we have seen it for both the physical as well as chemical adsorptions, as the pressure is increased, uh, there will be the extent of adsorption also increases for both physical as well as chemical adsorption. So this X by M ratio will increase as the pressure is increased. So for the pressure, it will be higher the pressure, higher will be the adsorption process happening. These are the four factors affecting the process of adsorption. In the next classes, we will see about the variation of this X by M ratio against pressure at constant temperatures. These curves we also call it as isotherms. Iso means constant and therm means temperature. So those processes which are carried out at constant temperatures are called as isotherms. The graphs that are produced by that processes are called as isotherms. We will see about these isotherms, different types of isotherms like Friedrich isotherms or the Langmuir's isotherms, and then their applications as well as the applications of the surface chemistry adsorption processes in calculating the surface areas, that we will see it in the next lectures. So far this much are there. If you have any doubts, then you can call me or reach me through to my with my WhatsApp number, as well as you can call me at any time. So we will solve the problems. Thank you very much.